Welcome to FYIVT, your inside source for news and in-depth analysis on what's really happening in Vermont. We want to start by saying thank you to all our listeners and supporters. Your continued encouragement fuels our mission to dig deeper and bring light to critical issues that shape our communities. We couldn't do this without you. Today, we're diving into our article titled, Vermont's Economic Future Alternative. As Vermonters, we often find ourselves asking, how can we create a future that works for everyone? A future that supports innovation, fosters prosperity, and ensures economic growth for all. The answers may lie in the ideas of two of the most influential economists of our time, Milton Friedman and Thomas Sowell. Their philosophies provide a roadmap for a more sustainable and thriving Vermont, one rooted in free markets, personal responsibility, and the careful consideration of trade-offs. Let's start with Friedman. A Nobel laureate and champion of free market economics, Milton Friedman believed that the key to prosperity lies in the power of voluntary exchange. He famously said, "The most important single central fact about a free market is that no exchange takes place unless both parties benefit." Think about that for a moment. Every interaction in a free market, whether buying, selling, or investing, relies on mutual benefit. And yet, Vermont's economy often feels bogged down by regulations and high taxes that distort this principle. For instance, Vermont has one of the highest tax burdens in the nation. Property taxes, income taxes, corporate taxes, you name it, we're paying it. Friedman would argue that these taxes don't just strain residents' wallets, they also stifle growth. When businesses are forced to allocate resources toward compliance and taxes instead of innovation and expansion, opportunities shrink. What if we reimagined our tax system? Lower taxes could leave more money in the hands of Vermonters and businesses, spurring investment, attracting new talent, and breathing life into our economy. Could that be the spark we need? Thomas Sowell, a student of economic incentives and a staunch advocate for rational policy, complements Friedman's ideas with a dose of pragmatism. Sowell reminds us that economics is, at its core, about trade-offs. As he put it, there are no solutions. There are only trade-offs. It's a stark but necessary truth. For every policy implemented, something else is impacted. For example, regulations designed to protect the environment, an admirable goal, can sometimes create barriers for businesses. These barriers can lead to higher costs for consumers and fewer opportunities for workers. Does that mean we should abandon regulation entirely? Of course not. But Sowell would suggest we approach these policies with a careful eye, weighing the benefits against the costs. Take Vermont's land use laws, like Act 250. While they aim to preserve Vermont's natural beauty, they've also been criticized for making development expensive and cumbersome. Could we streamline these regulations without compromising our commitment to the environment? That's a question worth exploring. Friedman and Sowell also offer insights into education and workforce development, two areas that are critical for Vermont's future. Friedman advocated for school choice, arguing that competition drives quality. He believed that parents, not bureaucrats, should decide where and how their children are educated. In a state like Vermont, where rural schools face unique challenges, could offering more educational options give our kids a better shot at success? Sowell, on the other hand, emphasizes the importance of aligning education with market demands. Too often, we hear about Vermonters struggling to find good jobs, while local businesses can't find skilled workers. That's a disconnect we can't afford to ignore. Investing in workforce training programs tailored to Vermont's industries, like renewable energy, agriculture, and advanced manufacturing, could bridge this gap and help our economy thrive. At this point, you might be wondering, how do we balance these ideas with the need for a safety net? After all, Vermonters value their communities and don't want to see anyone left behind. Both Friedman and Sowell recognize the importance of a safety net, but cautioned against policies that create dependency. Friedman once said, "The government solution to a problem is usually as bad as the problem." His words remind us to design programs that empower people, rather than trap them in cycles of reliance. What if we focused on assistance programs that help Vermonters achieve self-sufficiency, offering a hand-up, not just a handout? Ultimately, integrating these philosophies isn't about choosing one path or the other. It's about balance. It's about fostering an environment where free markets can thrive while ensuring that policies are thoughtful, efficient, and grounded in reality. Vermont has a rich history of community, independence, and resilience. We can honor that history by rethinking how we approach our economy. Imagine a Vermont where taxes are lower, businesses flourish, and our children have access to the best education tailored to their unique needs. Picture a state where innovation is encouraged and regulations are designed with precision, achieving their goals without stifling opportunity. Envision communities strengthened by targeted safety nets that promote growth and independence. That's the Vermont we can build. The ideas of Milton, Friedman, and Thomas Sowell aren't just theories. They're tools we can use to shape a better future. They challenge us to think critically about the policies we embrace and to consider their long-term effects. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us that prosperity begins with individual freedom and responsibility. So, where do we go from here? The choice is ours. As Vermonters, we have the power to demand smarter policies, engage in meaningful discussions, and champion ideas that work, not just for today, but for generations to come. Let's build a Vermont that honors its past while embracing a brighter, freer, and more prosperous future. Freedom is the foundation of prosperity. Stay informed, stay vocal, and most importantly, stay free. Thank you for listening to this episode of FYIVT. To read the full article and explore more on what's happening in Vermont and how the state works, visit us at FYIVT.com. We appreciate your support and look forward to continuing to bring you important perspectives on Vermont's most pressing issues. Until next time.